So began the journey to the North Pole, to safety, to our place in the cold. Among us we found a new leader, the man who came from the sky, the real love. And just as Papa Smurf had planned, we travelled far beyond the reach of metal machines. The elf juice, the precious elf juice, was hidden in the vehicles. As for me, I grew to manhood, and in the fullness of time I became the leader, the chief of the great Northern Pole tribe. And the Santa Claus, that was the last we ever saw of him. He lives now, only in my memories.
If you've ever looked at Santa Claus and thought, you know what, this man has seen things, some really dark things, then FATMAN is a cinematic masterpiece you've been subconsciously begging for. The movie answers a question absolutely no one asked, yet everyone secretly wanted. What if Santa was a grizzled, gun-toting, government-funded small businessman, barely holding his operation together with optimism, duct tape, and elf labour? And for that alone, FATMAN deserves some respect. Old Sugar Tits himself, Mel Gibson, plays Kris Kringle, the most exhausted version of Santa ever put on screen. This isn't your jolly ho 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 magical diabetic Kris Kringle. No, this is Santa 2.0. The Santa who's overworked, underpaid, overdressed, and slowly losing the will to deliver joy to increasingly awful children. Chris and his wife Ruth run the workshop like a wholesome North Pole SME, but business isn't booming. The Welsh children are apparently embraced full villain arc, which means fewer presents and more lumps of coal. This causes the US government to own a share in Santa Incorporated, because of course they do, to slash subsidies. Let me repeat, Santa is dealing with government budget cuts. This is the single most realistic plot point in a Christmas movie ever made. Enter stage left, Billy Weenan, the child who would probably unionise the naughty list just so as he could exploit it. He's rich, malicious, spoilt goblin of a boy whose hobbies include science fairs, piano recitals, and committing crimes. Yeah, real crimes. This child makes the Home Alone villains look like they run a charity. So whenever he sees a lump of coal on Christmas Day, he does the only logical thing you could do. Yeah, he hires a hitman to assassinate Santa. Enter stage right, Walter Goggins, who plays Jonathan Miller, a hitman who already hates Santa for a vague but emotionally scarring reason involving his childhood disappointments. You know, classic trauma that turns people into contract killers. He then embarks on the single most determined assassination attempt of all time, tracking Santa across the states, through snow, through military checkpoints, and into the base equivalent of a tactical fortress. Say what you like about the man, but he's committed. Human resources would love him. Now, here's where the film enters the this shouldn't work, but it weirdly does territory. The US military offers Santa a contract to manufacture jet fighter components. Yeah, jet parts, because nothing says Christmas spirit like rivets, steel plates, and Santa yelling at an elf about supply chain delays. Chris initially refuses. Ruth talks him into it, and the elves, tiny, efficient, adorable factories with pointy ears, get to work. I didn't expect a love a scene where an elf explains the nutritional benefits of eating nothing but simple sugars and carbs, fewer sleep cycles, higher productivity, but here we are. We then watch the team get to work with Hoggins' character doing everything he can to track Santa down and end him. I won't spoil any more, folks. You can go watch the rest for yourself. Gibson is fantastic in the role of the disgruntled Santa, and Baptiste playing Ruth does a great job as his supportive wife. There's a lot of charm to the script, but maybe one criticism. It does need some pacing tightening here and there, but it can be forgiven. The directors who wrote the script in 2006 and spent over 10 years trying to convince someone to fund it, which means we ever finally said, fine, give Santa a gun, a large, cold Ribena for his troubles. Filming happened in Canada in the blistering cold with temperatures at minus 36 degrees Celsius. So when you see that breath on the camera, that's not acting, that's survival. Batman is a cracking watch with a bold yet simple script that has lots of setups and extremely satisfying conclusions to each one. And the final moments of the film are a real treat. So you have a film here that covers government subsidies, violent children, health labour disputes, assassin, and a Santa Claus finally sticking up for himself. And honestly, I found the movie really refreshing. A lot of Christmas films can be all sugar and spice and magic. Fat Man gives us grit, bullets, and the moral that sometimes children, simply no matter how old they are little shits. So yeah, give this film a solid 9 out of 10. It's everything I didn't know I wanted in a holiday film, wrapped up in a blood-soaked bow. So have you seen it? What do you think? Or am I off my nuts? Please leave a comment below and give me a sub and ding dong my bell. Let's see if you can be bothered. And now I'm going to say something controversial. Are you ready for it? Merry Christmas. And I will see you all on the next video.